Matthew Sluka, UNLV quarterback, appears to have, I'll read it. I have decided to utilize my redshirt year and will not be playing any additional games this season. He's been starting, and they're 3-0 or 4-0 now. I committed to UNLV based on certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled. Despite discussions, it became clear that these commitments would not be fulfilled in the future. I wish my teammates the best of luck this season and hope for the continued success of the program. It appears that this is some sort of botched NIL deal or something. There's multiple reports on this, but Phil, Matt, what are you guys' thoughts on this?
Go first.
Man, you knew once you opened that Pandora box, okay, of paying these young kids money and promising them money, that if something wasn't fulfilled, right, where it's like, hey, I'm going to give you $200,000, you get there because of it, and you're not seeing the money, you knew these kids were going to start acting up. All right, now, do I like it? No, I don't, but I understand it. All right, if I was a kid, and I was one of them that I wish I could have got paid to play the sport I love in college, right? And so for this kid to be able to say, you know what, I'm done because you guys didn't fulfill your side of the deal, it sucks. I mean, the teammates have to feel bad about it, honestly. But the on the team side, they got to fulfill that deal. I don't know, Matt. What you thinking on this situation?
Bro, I'm torn. I literally just got done meeting with Dwayne Terrence, who's a very prominent agent. We're talking about all these 6-0 guys that are up for draft and all these NIL deals with all these college guys and setting up conference calls and like how to manage all this. And I'm hearing a couple different things. Carl Reed, who I respect the shit out of, I talked to him about this morning, then talking to Dwayne, that they both told me that he was promised something, didn't get it, and then they're 4-0, they're ranked, he's killing it, but he's old, he's like 25, 26, so like this is his opportunity to get paid, and it's not, it didn't come, like UNLV essentially backed out or told him they weren't going to pay him.
Yeah,
this is essentially like a college football holdout. This is the first ever college football holdout, and he's going to use his red shirt. The football player inside of me hates it.
Yeah,
I hate it. Like if I was on his offensive line, or if I was playing defense and he was our quarterback, I would be furious, because now you're taking away an opportunity to have a great season. But the businessman inside of me is like, well, this is what the NCAA and everybody wanted. You're not going to put any rules and restrictions on the kids. You're not going to have any legislative, way to move forward with certain things. You're not going to have, like a standard operating contract where each kid is signing something where they have to do certain things in order to get paid, so you can guarantee it. From what I can gather about all this, a lot of the NIL shit is bullshit. It's all smoke and hot air. It's handshake promises, and handshake promises don't work in the real world. So these kids, like, the reason I'm meeting with Dwayne is because we're going to work together. Like, I want my guys represented correctly, especially going to the NFL. But now in college, you've got to have the right people in your corner to kind of guide you on these things. And honestly, this kid shouldn't be having this conversation with them anyway. His agent should be having this conversation with them. So I don't like it, but I also understand what's happening.
For sure.
And honestly, if this gets him his money, if all of a sudden UNLV steps to the plate and gives him what he was owed, and then all of a sudden he's not redshirting and he's starting this weekend, then cool. But if not, you've got a 27-year-old or however old he is, he's old, 26, 27-year-old guy going onto his red shirt. What school's going to want him next year after this?
Yeah, you know what, Matt? I think a lot of schools would honestly want him after this, because he's that older quarterback that can just, be plugged in and has seen a lot of football. And I think for a lot of these programs now, you're looking for a quick fix. You're looking for somebody that you can just plug in and play, especially at the quarterback position. I don't think like finding a school is going to be the issue. I think it's like how much money are you willing to give this young man, knowing, what you've seen of him so far? Do you think that UNLV is going to get something done with this kid? It's crazy that we're talking about this like this is the NFL.
No, I don't think I think UNLV will stand pat, because if they pay him, it sets a precedent, and you're going to see every kid in the country say, I want more. I'm not playing unless you give me more. So either one of the sides going to win. Look, I'm not going to lie, Phil. Right when I saw this, I was like, well, shit, we need a quarterback next year. Our guy's about to go in the first round. So can we get this dude to Boulder? Like, that's just the business that it is. So I think that this has the kind of like precedent when you're looking at it from an overall perspective to set the market moving forward. Like, this could lead to unionization. This could lead to everybody. You have to have an agent.
Yes.
Like, you can go into it blind and try an handshake deal, but you better have somebody representing you. Like, all the parents and the players I talk to, they get really uptight when I say, well, the NIL cooperative we're working with is going to take 5-10%. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, you want to try and do it by yourself? Like, you want to go try marketing yourself and doing all this shit by yourself when you don't know how to do it? You don't have the social media presence, so on and so forth. So there's so much value in having people in your corner that are going to fight for you, because this, Phil, man, trying to get a contract out of an NFL team when you've done the work, and this more than anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, not to bring up shitty stuff, but went and picked fucking Melvin Gordon over you, which is the dumbest mistake in Bronco history. Like, what it's like to produce and not get paid.
Oh, yeah.
That feeling. So now in college, if you have the opportunity and you're producing your ass off and they don't pay you, I don't know how I can get really mad. I don't really like it from a football perspective, but the business trumps football now. This is what college football is.
No, yeah. And this is why I'm confused of why, like, if you're going to open the gates to this NIL and start paying these kids, why wouldn't it be more structured with contracts? All right. Why wouldn't it be something like, hey, we're going to sign a contract to protect us, to protect you, and make sure things are done the right way? I think that's something down the future that's getting ready to start happening to help these young men out. And also, Matt, what about a union, right? Because you have the NFL has the NFLPA,
Yep.
and for some stuff like that, what's up, buddy? For some things like that, it's like it helps you out because you have somebody that's supposedly having your back. Now you understand, with the union and the NFLPA, I don't know how much they help out at times. But
it's wishy-washy.
Exactly, right? But I think that now that you have these young kids that are in situations where you're getting paid money to do these things and you don't really know what's going on or how to approach a situation, they should come up with a union for these young college kids.
And then look, that is going to force, I think if they do unionize, it forces the NCAA out. And it forces the Power 4, Power 5 conferences, if the Pac-12 ends up being one, to the table again. And they're going to have to negotiate TV contracts, all that kind of shit. Like that's really the thing is, I've said this so many times, all right? And then we'll move off this topic, but I got to get your opinion on this, Phil, because I know you love playing college football, dog. Yeah. I loved it so much. The NFL was a straight business. I loved it, but it sucked.
Yeah.
Like, the college football that's the jam.
It is organic.
Can you imagine in 2016 or in 2004 when we're making a run at the conference, we're playing in the title game. In 2016, when you guys are making a run at the conference and playing in the title game, can you imagine walking up to your teammates and saying, yo, we're all going to strike. We're not going to play. Can you imagine if Georgia and Alabama just went out this weekend and sat down together and locked arms and said, yo, we're not playing this weekend until we get a cut of the CBS revenue?
Oh, it's
not like if they're
up.
doing this, if this player's doing this now, what is stopping every college football player in the country from getting a cut of the real money, which is the beer commercials, the Pfizer commercials, the TV contract? All that is really where the dough's at. And the players are the commodity, not I know coaches run college football, but you could give me Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, Vince Lombardi and Bill Walsh and Mike Shanahan all in the same coach, and I give you a bunch of bankers, and you're going to go 0-12. So let's be real, dog. That is a fact. So what's keeping everybody from just fucking saying we're not playing anymore until you actually break us off the way we're supposed to be paid?
Nothing is keeping these players from doing it other than themselves right now, and just the knowledge of understanding how much power they have. And when they
what leader needs to step up? Do we look? And I'll say it right now. You know who the leaders are in college football that would need to do this to make it happen? Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter.
The Travis Hunters, the Shedeur Sanders, I know some of the Georgia players, anybody that has this platform and that's going in the first round, if they step up and do something like that, for sure, you know,
how much
it's
money
only a matter of time,
lose,
guys.
dog?
You know,
can you imagine if like CU and UCF didn't play, they just sat there? You know how much money they would lose?
Exactly. And that's what they're hoping. That's what behind the scenes, you know, for the college football, the people that's running this whole situation, the organization of it, they're hoping that it doesn't get like that. But it's going to, because somewhere down the line, a union is going to be created, a union to protect these young kids, because they don't know. I mean, hell, Matt, they don't even understand taxes yet. I think these young men are getting all this money.
They don't have anybody in their corner telling them what to do and not to do.
No. I mean, I didn't know about it until I got to the NFL.
It's a slippery slope, bro. Look, I don't know where this is going to go, but this is a monumental day. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. So
are you okay in the grand scheme of things? Are you okay with it?
Yeah, I have to be, bro. In the business I'm in, Phil, you know this, bro. You've worked with me in the past. In the business I'm in the business of helping the player maximize himself. My best years playing were my 5 years at CU. I wish I could have monetized that. We played in 3 Big 12 title games and, you know, like always on national TV and all this revenue for the school for a stipend check. Like, it's cool because I didn't know the difference. But now that these kids have the opportunity to swing the hammer, I don't know how many times I've said it in my life, but when you have the hammer, you better swing that son bitch, because you're not going to get it very many times as a football player.
Yes. Well, see, I'm glad that I got to talk to you guys about that, because the football player, like you said earlier, the football player in me was like, man, why would you do that to your teammates? Like, this is all about football. But when you start to really understand that they don't care about you and all they care about is what you do on that football field and the abilities you have to offer, bring to the table, you have to do what's best for you and your family. And so for this young man saying, you know what, I have an opportunity, a platform in a way out right now where it's like, I can redshirt. Why would I not utilize that, right? There are many of my teammates, all right, that I'll give you an example. Devin Ross from when we were in Colorado, right?
Receiver,
exactly. He got to play right away. And I got to redshirt, and Bryce Bobo got to redshirt, and George Frazier got to redshirt, and we all had a blast, right? Well, these other young men like Chidobe Awuzie, Sefo Luafau, they all had to play right away while we got to have fun, right? And so I think the next year, Devin Ross was like, you know what? I didn't get to have that college experience and just grow and just develop. And so he used that redshirt year, his second year in college, because he had the opportunity. Now, you put it in this young man's hands who's at UNLV, the quarterback. It's like, you guys promised me all this money. I'm producing. I'm not seeing anything. You think that you're going to sweep this, under the rug, and I have a way out by redshirting. I like what the young man's doing, man.
Yeah, he's holding them to the fire. We'll see how it works out. But, bro, this is a crazy day in college sports.
It is.
Like every day is. So this is just one more log to throw on the crazy-ass fire that is college football. So let that son of a bitch burn, and let's see how it goes.